This story is not about drugs. It is about pain, power, and the reach of government. Angel Raich was not a criminal. She was not a trafficker. She was not selling anything. She was a patient. Angel Raich suffered from severe, life-threatening medical conditions. Constant pain. Extreme muscle spasms. And a condition so serious that eating food could make her violently ill. For years, doctors tried conventional medicine, prescription drugs, experimental treatments. Most of them failed. Some nearly killed her. Then one treatment worked. Cannabis. Not recreational use. Not abuse. Medical use, recommended by her doctor, as a last resort. And it allowed her to survive. Under California law, what Angel Raich was doing was legal. But under federal law, it was a crime. In 1996, California voters passed the Compassionate Use Act. The law allowed seriously ill patients to use marijuana for medical purposes, as long as a doctor recommended it. California made a decision. Healthcare should include compassion. But the federal government took a very different view. Under the Controlled Substances Act, marijuana was classified as a Schedule I drug. This is the most restricted category in federal law. The same category as heroin. By definition, a Schedule I drug has no accepted medical use. And no safe way to use it, even under medical supervision. To the federal government, Angel Raich's medicine did not exist. In 2002, federal agents raided the home of Angel Raich's caregiver. They seized and destroyed cannabis plants. Plants grown specifically for Angel Raich. Plants never sold. Plants never transported. Plants never crossing state lines. Angel Raich was terrified. Without cannabis, her doctors warned, her condition could become fatal. She lived every day knowing that her medicine could be taken at any moment. So Angel Raich did something almost unheard of. She sued the federal government. Her case became known as Raich versus Gonzales. At its core, the case asked a simple question. Does the federal government have the power to criminalize medical marijuana, grown and used entirely within one state, by a seriously ill patient, for personal survival? Angel Raich argued that Congress had exceeded its constitutional authority. Her marijuana was not bought, not sold, not traded. She was growing a plant in her own backyard. The federal government responded with one word: commerce. Under the U.S. Constitution, Congress has the power to regulate interstate commerce, trade between states, markets, economic activity. But Angel Raich was not engaged in commerce. So the government made a broader argument. They relied on a landmark 1942 case, Wickard versus Filburn. In that case, a farmer grew wheat on his own land, for his own personal use. The Supreme Court ruled that even personal activity could be regulated if, in the aggregate, it affected the national market. The government argued the same logic applied here. If patients like Angel Raich could grow their own marijuana, then fewer people would buy marijuana on the illegal market. And that, according to the government, would affect interstate commerce. Therefore, even Angel Raich's backyard plant could be federally regulated. The case reached the Supreme Court of the United States. For Angel Raich, this was not abstract law. This was survival. The court heard arguments about federal power, state sovereignty, and the limits of compassion under constitutional law. In 2005, the Supreme Court issued its decision. By a vote of 6-3, Angel Raich lost. Justice Antonin Scalia joined the majority. Scalia argued that Congress could regulate even local, non-commercial activity, if doing so was necessary to enforce a broader federal regulatory scheme. In this case, The war on drugs. The court ruled that allowing medical marijuana, even for patients like Angel Raich, could undermine federal drug enforcement. Federal power prevailed. But the dissent told a very different story. Justice Sandra Day O'Connor warned that the ruling erased the line between state and federal authority. She argued that states should be allowed to experiment, especially in areas of health and medicine. California had chosen compassion. The Constitution, she argued, allowed that choice. Her dissent became a warning about unchecked federal power. For Angel Raich, the ruling meant one thing. She could still be arrested. Her medicine could still be taken. Her survival depended not on rights, but on whether federal agents chose to intervene. She was not protected by law. She was merely tolerated. Raich versus Gonzales still shapes America today. Even now, medical marijuana remains illegal under federal law. Patients rely on enforcement discretion, not constitutional protection. States may legalize. Voters may approve. Doctors may recommend. But federal power still looms. This case was never just about cannabis. It was about how far government power reaches, and how small an individual can become when standing alone against it. Angel Raich did not ask to change the Constitution. She only wanted to live. This is Legal Loophole US. We explain the law without noise, without fear, and without forgetting the human cost. Stay with Legal Loophole US.